Well, my first time at George Best Airport. Kind of ironic with the World Cup being on, to be flying out of, arguably, certainly in my opinion, the best ever player not to play at a World Cup. Magical football skills that man had. Right, so, but the taxi driver has assured me, what a character. I got a black cab from the ferry, and the guy was great. I ended up sat in the front because he rescued some other passengers. Anyway, really lovely chap. And he says he's going to watch this video, so I've got to say he's a lovely chap, haven't I? But he was really friendly. Recommended doing black cab tours rather than the open top bus tour of Belfast. You really get to see the nitty gritty, were his words. So the next trip over, we're going to do that, and on the channel is the open top tour of Belfast. Anyway, he's sort of told me this isn't the most fantastic airport, although Belfast International is. Not flown out of there either. Anyway, there's a Cafe Nero. We can get caffeine. We're all right. Okay, let's see what happens next. I don't think this is so bad. It's certainly been in a lot worse. Cafe Nero with a bit of character. And a lovely Christmas tree. Fairly hefty queue for checking, but hopefully there is a priority queue. But we'll find out.
Well, the good news was that queue was for an Aer Lingus flight, so I checked in, no problems, straight up to the lounge, and as I had worryingly plenty of time, I fortified myself with a sausage sandwich and some orange juice, and then, keeping a very active eye on the board, I waited for my flight, which was now getting worrying because people were beginning to say there was a rumour we weren't going to take off till 1 o'clock, but the board was still chopping and changing between 10:10 and 10:30. So it was fingers crossed, remove the temptation of a Bloody Mary and wait and see what happens. Great news, we did board at 10:10. Bad news, only to be told that we were waiting for a slot and were unlikely to take off till 1 o'clock. As my flight was due to leave Heathrow at 12:55, that meant I was very unlikely to catch that flight. We were told we possibly would leave if an earlier slot, but Heathrow was now blanketed in fog, and so we had to wait for clearance at Heathrow before we could take off from Belfast. So this was my view for about 3 hours, and I started to get worried. But not to worry, to pass the time, my good friends Airliners Live were broadcasting their Sunday Super Show, so I watched their video from Manchester Airport where there were planes taking off and landing. It's just after 1 o'clock, we've pushed back, we're taxiing, and we are on our way to London Heathrow. And I'm looking out the window here, and I know we're being told it's bad in Heathrow, but it's a beautiful day for flying. It's slightly overcast and it's a little bit chilly. Surely nothing's going to go wrong. I mean, it can't, can it? Oh yes, it can go wrong. The reason there's no footage of the landing, we weren't allowed to use cameras or phones as we were on an auto land, as the pilot couldn't see the runway. And as you can see here, we were trying to taxi to disembark, and we went through the DI station. This is what was causing the cancellations at this stage. The heavy snow was now forecast, and I switched my mobile phone back on and received the message my flight was now cancelled. I thought not a problem on the 3:15. Problem was, it was the 3:15 on Tuesday.
No surprise, this has all gone terribly wrong. I was due to arrive at Heathrow at 10 o'clock this morning. It's now 3:15, I've just arrived. It's not a case of bumping my flight. I thought I was on a 3 o'clock flight to Manchester, which meant I could make the connection. That's not happened. There's no flights to Manchester which means the flight I was due to get from Manchester, I've missed, because there's no way I can get to Manchester. So, I think I'm going to try and get to Gatwick, and there's a flight I might be able to get on. Might. Speak to you soon.
Ma ce li ha! Ora glielo fatti ricontrare, ce li ha nuovi. Adesso scarpe ce l'ha, non so dove cazzo le ha messe, ma ce l'ha. C'ha l'armadio pieno di scarpe, basta